Hello, and welcome to another episode of Friends of Manners. I'm your host, Lorraine Peters, and well, tonight, welcome to my home. I have a very special show tonight and very special guests. Shawn Richard is already known as a local country music celebrity, and he has just signed a development deal in Nashville. And I'm so honored to be able to interview not just him, but some of the closest members of his family tonight. You're going to get to meet and hear them tell some stories about Shawn. And so without any further ado, let's start with Shawn's mom, Gail. So Gail and Art, Gail, as you inch closer to Shawn leaving for Nashville, I think you've actually accompanied him on a few trips down to Nashville. And so as it gets closer, what are you thinking about for Shawn?
I'm nervous for him. I'm excited for him. And I did go down to Nashville with one trip with him. It's been a little over a year ago now. And it was amazing. Can't wait to do it again. Only next time Art needs to go.
So you're already cashing in, right? You're like, okay, kid, I want another trip down to Nashville.
Yeah, for sure.
So, sometimes there are dreams and then sometimes the realities of things kind of hit you. Have you realized anything about, I call it the machine, the business of Nashville? Has any of that started to creep in that you're like, whoa, this is business?
Yeah. I mean, like, Nashville is all about the music, right? And to think that Shawn is actually going to be down in Nashville and probably living there is like, oh my Lord, we're going to be going down there to visit Shawn in Nashville where there's so many celebrities, and it's just so exciting. Can't wait. We're very, very excited.
So, you can't say the name Richard without backing that up very quickly with music. The entire family is musical. I've been, I would say, an extended friend of both of your families since I was 13. And so I understand that music literally flows through the blood of every one of the Richard family members. And so what does it mean to the family? How many people's dreams is Shawn carrying right now?
Oh,
there's a lot of dreams.
He's carrying a lot of the family. Yeah.
My younger brother, he looked up to him quite a bit. I'm sure you remember Eloy.
Of course.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's going to be with him up there. I guarantee you that. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think Eloy would have said? How would he have reacted right now?
Eloy would be very proud of him right now. Eloy was, you've heard him sing. He's an awesome singer, and Eloy and Shawn spent a lot of time together. So he helped Eloy out a lot, and Eloy helped him out a lot. So I think Eloy would be pretty proud of him right now.
Eloy would be saying, right on, man.
Yeah, he'd be happy for him.
Indeed. Yeah. Have you noticed a difference in Shawn now that this is really ratcheting up to that next level? Have you noticed an increase in seriousness or pulling his bootstraps up? Like what has been the difference between what he's been doing all these years and now?
Well, I can't say that there's really a big difference in him. Shawn just so whatever happens, and he makes jokes about things like, oh, Mom, what are you going to do when I become rich and famous, jokingly, and I said, oh, no, you're going to be. And then Art has something to say about that.
Huh? Oh, he makes you rich and famous. The first thing he's got to buy for his dad's a plow for his truck.
Art, you gotta think a little bigger than that.
Yeah, I suppose. I could, but Yeah,
While he's down there working hard, you'll have some time to think about it.
you're right. I'm making my list.
That's right. Maybe a new house to put on the front of that plow.
You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what makes you most proud when you're there alone at night and you're talking to each other? What is the one thing that makes you the most proud of Shawn?
We've never had a problem with him for sure. Growing up, he's always kept his nose clean, and we've never had no problems at all. He's always been serious about his music, so
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, we know he's not getting in any trouble. Nothing. He's right there with his music. And
He's always been, Shawn's always been, well, I would say for the last 10 years, really, really serious about his music. I mean, he's been singing since he was 3 years old. But no, Shawn's pretty serious, and even he's a quiet guy, but no, I take that back. He's not really quiet. No. He's pretty humble.
Yeah.
He's very, very well liked.
Very well liked. And I think that's probably humility and being well liked, probably going to be his ace in the hole as he goes into a place like Nashville, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Recently we can all think of an artist or two that tremendously talented and just gets themselves into trouble, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Gail. I don't think that's going to be an issue.
No.
he chose the right path.
Yeah, he did. So, Shawn, are you tired of listening to us talk about you, or were you getting a little worried?
Right.
I mean, I could listen to you guys talk about me forever. No.
There's that humble man.
I'm very humble, I promise. No, it's really nice to hear my parents saying some things about me that that we wouldn't just sit down and have a conversation and say about each other, even though we know it's there. It's pretty cool to hear those things. I was a little bit nervous about their interview, but they did really well.
Really well. So I want to talk to you a bit about the long haul. I mean, you hear people say, "Oh, congratulations, you're making it." You and I both know this is the beginning. How are you framing this up? What does this long haul, what are you prepared for?
A lot of work, a lot of dedication, and like giving up a lot of just a lot of your time to make your dream successful. People work so hard, and people have said to me, like, since this has happened, like, you've worked really hard for this. I don't personally think that I've worked hard enough for this. Like, there are artists that have worked for years and years and years, and opportunities like this don't get to happen for them. So as much as I have worked to get this far, I plan to, I realize it's going to be a lot of work getting to the ultimate goal, or just getting to where whatever success I'm comfortable with, or it's going to take some time. Like you said, it's the beginning, so there's a lot of stuff that goes into play here, like gaining everybody's attention, and making sure that I'm putting out music that fits well with me, and getting my brand on key. And yeah, so there's so many things that writing music is a big one of them. You can't just write a song. Sometimes you can't just write it overnight. I know for me, sometimes it can take weeks to write a song, so there's a lot of work, a lot of things that go into making this business successful.
Yeah, that's right. All we as fans know is the output, right? The song, oh, that's great. But so many things, as you said, there's a team there behind you, and then there's the writing process, and then there's creating your brand. I want to ask you, is there a plan B, or is plan A, that's it?
In regards to with the label?
making it in music. Yeah, making it in music. Some people, you hear some interviews and people say, well, plan B was, I got a university education. I was going to, I'd be a school teacher. Other people say there was no plan B. It was music or bust.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, I don't know, it's weird to explain. I've always felt like this was what was going to be for me. Like, I always felt deep down that one day, sometime or another, whether it was, later on in my life or now or earlier, I knew that it was going to be my everyday. And in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, I don't need a plan B. But I do know that I have other things to fall back on. And honestly, if performing isn't cut out for me, I would absolutely love to just be a songwriter and work that way, like, because I'd still be doing something I love very much and I'm passionate about.
Yeah, right. So you see yourself in the business regardless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't want to get too sappy, but what do you feel, what do you carry forward, Shawn, as you go into this development deal and move to Nashville? What piece of your Uncle Eloy do you carry forward? What's going in your back pocket with you from him all the way?
Just knowing that the hard work ethic and that kind of goes behind my whole entire family. Just the hard work that you have to put into it, and all of the advice that they've given me over the years, and kind of that we've given each other, I suppose, is like you really have to dig your heels in and put all of your work ethic forward when you're doing this business, or else you're just not going to succeed. Yeah.
So what kind of music's on your playlist? Who are you listening to, and who do you admire?
That is a very large question. Someone asked me that question the other day, and I said, I literally, like, two of my favorite songs right now, or, like, one's country and one's pop. So it can stem, it's very large. Like, I have a wide variety of music that I like listening to. When I'm playing, it kind of sticks to my home ground is country. And I'll like do some pop covers and maybe a couple of rock covers here and there, but country's definitely like my stomping ground. But what I listen to, there's a wide variety for sure.
I like that. Yeah. And, true musicians, often they say, good music is good music. It doesn't matter what genre it is. It sounds like that's what you're saying as well.
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
Aunt Deb. So you're strategically positioned there to his left, because you and Shawn do a lot of singing together. You've been in the studio with him. You've performed live together. And so I want to ask you all the embarrassing questions. So what's quirky about Shawn? I mean, we know he's cute as a button. He's very relatable. He's very likable. So what's quirky about Shawn?
Well, Shawn doesn't have any quirks. He's perfect.
Well, that's a boring interview.
No, he's I can't say anything bad about Shawn because he's just like me. We're like two peas in a pod, the two of us. Sure. And always have been. Like I said, I've been trying to steal him since he was a baby, putting him in my guitar case. And
there's an actual picture of that.
There are pictures. He's whenever all the kids were around, he was my music buddy right from day one. The other kids would want to be outside playing or drawing or doing sports or whatever. If I even so much as looked at my guitar, Shawn was right there wanting to learn everything he could, and I never worried about handing him one of my instruments. I knew that he was actually going to try to play it, not play with it. And I never have ever worried about him breaking anything in the music room or anything like that, because he's always had just the desire to actually play the instruments. He didn't just beat on them or anything like that. He right from day one wanted to play them.
Yeah, so it was evident from the get-go to you that this was something he was passionate about.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
We were talking this afternoon and I mentioned the first time he realized he was harmonizing with me, his eyes got huge and we're right in the middle of the song and he's like, and he looks at me and I went, yeah, you're harmonizing.
Didn't know I could do that.
It just happened. It wasn't something, I didn't sing the line for him or teach him how to do it. He just instinctively went there. And I couldn't have been more proud if he was my own kid.
Yeah, so that kind of leads into my next question. What is it like? Can you articulate what it is like to sing with Shawn, to be in the studio with Shawn, to collaborate with him?
It's comfortable. We fit. We don't have to really work at our harmonies. They just happen. And it's because he's been singing with me since he could talk. We have the same accent, so that helps.
It's pretty natural.
Yeah.
Shawn, you must think like being able to have access to talent like Deb all your life and be so, as she says, comfortable, that must have contributed greatly to your development up to this point.
Yeah, and I don't have to pay her either.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even a second thought when I was going into the studio here where I could record close to home, and that I would have her recording with me. And if that was possible in Nashville, that would be the case as well. And it's just like she said, it's because we have sung together our entire lives, and we don't really have to practice how, like, our voices just kind of mesh together, like it just kind of happens naturally. So yeah, it was absolutely without a doubt that was going to be my route when I was recording.
Yeah. So
and we sound so much alike that when I recorded my third song, I did all of the vocals myself, but there was a friend of mine who is very familiar with the family vocals, and he said, that's got to be Deborah Yvonne in the background. And I was like, no, it's actually all me.
So that's good. You're getting credit already, Deb, and he's not even famous yet.
And that works for me.
Yeah. You might get a deal. You might get a deal yourself. So what do you see as, knowing him so well, what do you see as Shawn's strengths? Like, what are some of the key strengths that you think this kid's going to make it?
His songwriting. I'm very, very impressed with his songwriting. As a songwriter myself, I'm amazed with just, and right from the start, it's not like your songs are getting so much better. Your songs were always good. So I think that's the big thing for me. I mean, I love his voice. That goes without saying, but his songwriting is top notch.
Who does he remind you of? Like, when you think of good songwriters, is there anybody that comes to mind?
Let's see. He tells a story with his songs, so there's
a lot of emotion.
Yeah. And well, he speaks the truth in his songs, and they come from his heart. So, like, most country songwriters have that, and I shouldn't say country songwriters. Most songwriters have that, because if you're not speaking the truth, it's not going to resonate with other people. He tries to keep his songs in a format where anyone can relate to it, male or female, young or old. And I think that's really a talent in itself.
Do you think that country music and writing and everything is far, like, way more sophisticated now, and the bar has been raised so high even in the last 20 years?
I think there's definitely been, I'm not going to say improvements, because you asked about playlists. I've got everyone from Patsy Cline to Pink on my playlist.
Yeah, me too.
So I love the old songs. Willie Nelson is one of the best songwriters ever. The man's prolific, like just, it's amazing the songs that he's written. And I don't know. I don't think that, I think as long as a song has heart and is relatable and speaks the truth, and I'm sorry, this is just my opinion, but leaves out the cuss words. I think that's a good song. You know, if it can make you feel something, then it's well written.
Yeah. Who does he remind you of? Is there anybody, as you say, from going way back to Patsy Cline through to today? Is there anybody that he kind of, there's a little twinge of reminder of?
I don't really think that way when I listen to his music. I'm in the moment with him. He's his own musician and his own singer and his own writer. And I don't compare him to other people because he's just Shawn to me. So no,
Yeah.
I can't really give you a name there because I don't compare him to anyone else. I just see him as himself, and I'm very proud of what I see.
So Shawn, we have about 1 minute left before we cut to letting the audience listen to your songs. What is going to ground you as you go off to Nashville for this development deal? What's your mantra? What do you say? What are you going to say to yourself to keep grounded?
I think my number one thing that I have always said since I've started performing in various places is that I need to stay humble, and it's very important to stay humble within the industry, within other musical artists. Remember where you came from and the people that got you there, and you know, all of the support that got me there. And I'm seeing that right now from my communities, and that's something that I will not take for granted. And
Thank you. We're going to stop. Yeah. We're going to stop right there. I want to say goodbye to our audience, say goodbye to your family, and thank you for the interview. And now let's enjoy Shawn's music.
Say you wanna work this out. Oh, but baby, you know we've tried. Oh, what are you tonight? This ain't nothing new. Yeah, we could fight for days on end, try to start all over again. No, I won't lie, I'm going out of my mind, and I don't wanna go there. I don't wanna make you cry. I don't wanna say I'm sorry or say I love you. I just wanna be quiet. You say that we ain't trying, but if trying's all we do, then tell me what's the use. No, it ain't fair. I don't wanna go there. I don't wanna go there. Go all night long before we even know what's wrong, or will you just stand right there and think of me and you? Or we could take the good times back, but taking back ain't always good. Even though we know we should, we can't end this pain. And I don't wanna go there. I don't wanna make you cry. I don't wanna say I'm sorry, say I love you, I just wanna be quiet. You say that we ain't trying, but if trying's all we do, then tell me what's the use. No, it ain't fair. I don't wanna go there. I don't wanna go there. Try to start all over again. No, I won't lie, I'm going out of my mind. And I don't wanna go there. I don't wanna make you cry. I don't wanna say I'm sorry or say I love you. I just wanna be quiet. quiet. You say that we ain't trying, oh, but if trying's all we do, then tell me what's the use? No, it ain't fair. I don't wanna go there. I really thought you were the one, but I never felt so numb. I gave up everything to be with you. I tried time and time again for days and days. I did pretend when it's so new it shouldn't be so blue. Then I opened up my eyes, said goodbye to all your lies. What is forever anyway? I think I'm over you today. It's like a month of Mondays when I'm with you. I think I'm better off alone. You never know until you know the words that I could say. There's a few. Maybe I woke up feeling strong, or maybe I woke up on the right side of wrong. I couldn't understand why the truth is what I could deny. Didn't wanna believe that it was you. You made my mind play tricks on me. I was so blind I couldn't see. You had control of my way through. Then I opened up my eyes, and I saw through your disguise. But it's forever anyway. I think I'm over you today. It's like a month of Mondays when I'm with you. I think I'm better off alone. You never know until you know the words that I could say. There's a few. Maybe I woke up feeling strong, or maybe I woke up on the right side of wrong. It's the thought of yesterday that made me wanna run away. But it's forever anyway. I think I'm over you today. It's like a month of Mondays when I'm with you.